The following is a live copyrighted presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for RadioLawTalk.com with your host, Frederick Penny, attorney at law. And now, RadioLawTalk.com.
Welcome this February 26, 2019 to Radio Law Talk. I'm your host, Frederick Penny. What a soggy, rainy day in the West Coast. This is a wonderful day, Cal. This is an excellent day. Todd, welcome. Denise, welcome. Chris Rodriguez, welcome.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they're not here, Fred.
They're not here.
You are, today, you are officially...
Am I the Lone Ranger? It is me, Frederick William Penny. Only me, nobody else.
Riding high over the hills of California, a thunderclap of hooves with a hearty hi-oh silver.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fred Penny.
I don't need those little slouches. The little slouches want to take time off. What a bunch of wimps. I can't believe they just whine. Oh, it's too much work. I have to go do something. I have to be with my family.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Like
Well, Cal, guess what? I
What?
have you.
Yes.
Cal Hunter, 3-time Emmy Award nominee, but never a winner producer.
Never.
Is always behind the glass with me, helping me out do this wonderful radio show. You know, Cal, as well as I do, this is the most exciting, entertaining, and by far the most informative radio show on the earth, other than...
The Alien Show.
The Alien shows are much better than ours. I love the Alien shows.
I'm sorry, we have to give props to the Alien
Show. Alien Show. Can we someday do an Alien/Law Talk program?
Well, I know a guy who knows a guy who does a weekend Alien talk show.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking with just one phone call, we could probably get on there and actually find lawyers from outer space. That's right, Fred. Lawyers from outer space.
Aren't they always from outer space? Oh, my gosh. I think the Alien Show would be great. We could go to Area 51, Cal. You and I could sit there.
I'm up for it.
We can do the law talk and then do it. Maybe we could talk with aliens.
Well, many people suggest we already do.
That's true.
Except that Denise and Todd aren't here today.
Yes, true. That's true. Hey, I'm going to thank KNNR 1400 AM Reno, Nevada. You know what? We haven't thanked KQSP 1530 AM from Minnesota. They're in Shakopee, Minnesota, if I say that right. But
it's Minneapolis.
But it's Minneapolis, suburb Minneapolis.
I like the Amargosa Valley.
Exactly. I love the Amargosa Valley. Thank you, Amargosa Valley. That's 101.1 FM KPKK that carries us. And we've got affiliates all over the country. Thank you for carrying us. We know we don't mention you every time.
And more coming.
We really appreciate it. And those of you who are listening to us live on Radio Law Talk, again, www.radiolawtalk.com. You want to call in 855-LAW-RADIO. Tweet us at Radio Law Talk. Or don't forget, case or no case coming up. You can hashtag case or no case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So hey, guess what, Cal?
So I have to do a case or no case?
Case or no case. Okay. The best part about it, Cal.
Only you will get points.
Only I will get points. Now, but what I'm going to do, and if it's up to you, I can bet. Can I bet for my other associates?
No.
Case? Because we don't bet on the, let's back up. We don't bet on the air, but what I'm saying is I could put 10 of Denise's points up and answer for her, can I?
Well, that would be up to her. If she's listening, she can text in.
No, she can't. Well, I don't think we should do that. So what do we got going today? We got exciting. I've got Ron Arendt. Okay, today we've got Ron Arendt talking about mediation. Everyone talks about, the law, the lawsuits. That's all we talk about. But probably the most important thing that we probably don't say enough, Cal, is mediation. Most things can be settled, trials, cases, through mediation. And Ron Arndt's been a mediator forever and a day. I think he's been a mediator for 150 or 160 years.
Well, he told me he started about the time the Constitution was written, just a little bit before that.
I think he was one of the actual signers.
Pretty much.
But they erased his name somehow. So welcome, Ron.
Thank you.
That's all he's going to say. Thank you.
You've made enough fun of me.
You've made enough fun of me. Stop. So we're going to do a case or no case, but let's go over a couple of interesting things we're going to talk about today. By the way, Kaepernick is supposedly settled his case with the NFL.
I have some questions about that.
I do too, and we're going to talk about that. Ready for this? It's a shocker. You're going to fall down, Cal. Avenatti's in the news again.
No.
Stormy Daniels' lawyer is accused of holding money out during a bankruptcy. Apparently his firm filed bankruptcy. One of the former attorneys in the firm got a $10 million judgment against him. And guess what? They're saying that he's not saying where the money. Apparently, they're saying he's spending money elsewhere, not through the firm.
Late development.
Yeah.
He turned all of the controls over.
No, I know that. Yeah. We're going to talk about
which is just a weird thing.
Yeah. No, he turned it over, and I'll get into that.
Cool.
Guess what? Judge voids Manafort's plea deal. We did talk. I mean, I know all these pundits have talked about it all week. So sometimes, don't forget, by the time we hit it on Saturday, Cal, it's kind of old news. But we put a spin on it because we're lawyers and we want to talk about some legal issues.
There are some important aspects of that people who go to court, even with a mediator, might have some questions about.
That's exactly right.
Really think about this.
Yeah, Showtime is sued. This is a bizarre one. Is sued and wins a case over a creepy subway poster. It shocked a lady so much she fell down the stairs. We're going to talk about that lawsuit. That is an interesting one out of the East Coast. Although, by the way, Fox is sued for $25 million in a defamation suit, among other things. And I'm going to talk to you about what that's about a little bit later. Duck boat crash. One of the duck boat crash verdicts comes in. Don't forget, we got duck boat crashes lawsuits in Washington. We've got them in
there was
Tennessee.
Missouri or Tennessee?
No, Missouri. No, Missouri. It's Branson, Missouri.
Right.
And we're going to talk about Kevin Stacey's sex abuse scandal. Apparently, he's got another allegation against him, and it is the judge is holding the person out anonymously. And Spacey's arguing, no, it's a civil case, and if it's civil, you have to reveal who it is, and there's an argument there.
Well, what about a person's right to face his accuser?
Well, that they can face his accuser, but the question is that person's identity come out in the complaint? In other words, like Joe Jones versus Mary Jones. Yeah, who filed it. They can put it as Doe, and we'll talk about whether or not a judge can do that, especially in a civil case, because there are some rights if it's a child and stuff like that. But March 3rd is the premiere of the Michael Jackson movie, causing a lot of controversy. That is a really interesting one.
Now, is that the Sundance movie?
Yeah, it was at Sundance. They did it a premiere, and then now it's going to be shown March 3rd on HBO. And the lawyers of the estate of Michael Jackson are not happy. And they wrote a nice little sweet letter to them saying, hey, fellas, let's talk about this.
From the law firm Grumpy, Sad, and Angry.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Let's see. We're going to maybe talk about Oroville Dam if we can get there. Woody Allen is suing Amazon. That's another interesting one. And can President Trump declare an emergency and build the wall? Woo, that's a controversial one.
Great question. Yeah.
And you know what? We might get to that at the end, but so many pundits have talked about it. It's just we can go on forever. But the most important thing we can do right now, Cal, is roll the most important tape so I can get points. Roll case or no case.
Now it's time to play case or no case.
We're going to have Ron's in on this.
Yeah, our guest has to be a part of this case or no case because I have a minute to do the setup. So
just
give him to give an answer. I have a minute to do the setup. Now I take you to Staten Island, New York, for the annual Groundhog Day observance.
Ooh, Groundhog Day.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio attended the observance, 4th year in a row. Staten Island Chuck is the groundhog who would come out, and by observing whether he could see a shadow, would assert whether there would be winter or not, right? The standard groundhog routine. Well, once Chuck was out of the cage, the mayor held him up. Everybody clapped and cheered, had a donut, and the mayor promptly dropped Chuck, and Chuck died.
What?
Yes, in the necropsy, by the way, they determined that Chuck was actually Charlotte.
Oh, it was a woman.
It was a female.
It was a woman groundhog.
Exactly. The mayor claimed that Charlotte jumped. Anyway, I'll give you the rest of the story. We have just a few seconds until we get out of here. So we will give you the rest of the setup for the case or no case and much more coming up right here on Radio Law Talk and on RadioLawTalk.com.
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to RadioLawTalk.com.
Jason Ross back here with Fred Penny, managing attorney from Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Now, Fred, what type of cases are you dealing with now, and what sets you apart?
Jason, we help people with all types of personal injury cases. We're former insurance company trial lawyers. We understand the other side, which gives us a distinct advantage over our competition. Remember, we don't get paid unless we win.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennylawyers.com or give them a call, 1-800-616-4LAW. That's PENNEY lawyers.com.
This is Denise Dirks. We can represent clients in divorce, legal separation, child and spousal support, custody, termination of parental rights, step-parent adoptions, guardianships, and even conservatorship matters. Call 1-877-886-7186 for a consultation.
The law offices of Denise L. Dirks provide family law services in Northern California. When the law affects your family, call 877-886-7186. The family of attorneys at Denise L. Dirks is here to help.
I am Cameron Levitt, Chief Operating Officer of Concussion Medical Clinic. California's first concussion medical clinic is now open. As concussions increase each year, there has never been a greater need for concussion specialists. Our physicians at Concussion Medical Clinic are board certified in pediatric neurology and sports medicine and have partnered with universities, hospitals, and rehab clinics to expedite the recovery process. Simply put, we are elevating the standard of care. When you need an expert concussion opinion or concussion care, visit concussionmedicalclinic.com to schedule your appointment.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penny of Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials. So just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at PennyandAssociates.com.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll-free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family's survival to survivalistcamps.com.
You're listening to RadioLawTalk.com. And now back to your host, Frederick Penny.
Okay, I call this case or no case for Fred Penny to make some points. So that's what's important. Why don't you just give us a very brief overview again, my friend? You can put your mic down.
I'm going to put my mic down so you can hear me. It's bank making time for Fred is the bottom line here. Okay, all right, fine. So we basically talked about the case of Mayor Bill de Blasio in New York, where he dropped the groundhog Chuck for the city of Staten Island, and Chuck died. So now the mayor claimed that Chuck, or now Charlotte, as we found out after the death, that Charlotte jumped out of his hands, that it wasn't his fault at all. But the people in Staten Island, the little borough board there, filed a claim against the city because, replacing and taming a groundhog ain't cheap, right?
Really?
They got to feed it and they got to put it in a cage. And so they say they're going to file a claim. And by the way, under New York law, similar to California law, such a claim can be a precursor to a lawsuit. So I'm asking you, case or no case? And if it is a case, what was the outcome?
I could actually put a few of my points up, right? If I wanted to.
Well, let's see. Yeah,
But I don't want to. Don't worry. I'm not going to put any of my points up.
Okay,
I don't trust myself.
You have 7 points now.
I know,
Denise has 16.
Oh.
Our guest will play for Todd.
No.
Todd has 1 point.
No, he cannot. That is not fair. Todd is not here, Cal. You are the boss. You make that decision. But I'm going to tell you, I'm opposing that.
I'm picking up on that.
I'm going to appeal that to the Supreme Court.
Your Honor, I object.
I object. The guy's not here, man. He gets nothing.
But he only has 1 point.
All right. Well, if you tweet out, or you can hashtag Radio Law Talk, or tweet us at Radio Law Talk, or call in at 855 Law Radio. You don't have to be on the air. Cal will just take your answer.
Sure.
Tell us what you think, and who are you going to start with, Cal?
Let's start with our guest.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir. Do you think it is a case, Ron, a case or no case? And if it is in fact a case, what do you think the outcome might be?
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm chickening out on you folks, but this is not a case in my opinion.
Why is that?
Ooh.
Well, I don't see where anyone really has a cause of action for it. Who owns the groundhog?
The city of Staten Island.
I still don't see that as a case.
Okay, here's the question.
Things happen. Animals are wild. They have a wild atmosphere about them. They have a unique way of living different than we do. Mm-hmm. And if he squirms out of the man's hands, I don't think you've got a case against him.
Okay, so that's the second part he's answered. But, okay, Ron, we're going to tell you part of this. So your answer is there's no way that they would win the case. The question is this a real case, or did Cal make it up? That's the other question.
I think he's invented it.
Ooh, no case at all.
Man, smacked
Okay. So I got to think about
Let's
this
see.
one.
Somebody's texting us. I'm going to see who this is. This is Todd Kunin. Trust me when I say I wish I was in the studio with y'all rather than where he is.
Oh.
And that's because he thinks he can make points on this.
Yes.
So, Fred, case or no case? I asked you.
It is such a stupid case that it has to be real. It is so ridiculous for someone. What year was this, Cal?
I don't know. It was the fourth year that he did it, and de Blasio is still mayor. It was fairly.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that's not true. It's 2018.
Okay. What? Last year?
Yeah, last year. That was his fourth year. So. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's a case because it's such a stupid thing, and I'm going to say they win. I'm just going out on a limb. It's the most ridiculous thing to say. I'm going completely opposite of Ron, our mediator next door, and he's probably smarter than me. He's got it figured out.
Ron's giving me the look.
And I am actually going to say it is a case, and the city wins against the mayor. Or the town, whatever it is.
All right. So, well, fair enough. And I think it would be wise of me then to give you the answer to this, would it not?
Yes, it would.
For those of you who think it is not a case, please raise your hand. That would be Ron.
Oh my gosh. The mediator smoked me.
Now.
What?
True story.
That was so stupid.
The story is true.
Yes.
That he did hold up the animal. The animal did jump out of his hand. The animal did die. They did find out it was a female.
Oh.
All of that's true, but Staten Island never filed the case. I just made that part up. So it is no case.
Todd and Denise are elated, jumping up and down right now, happy as clams.
Well, we have a case or no case in the third hour, so you have a chance to make up some ground.
I got 0 points.
Yeah,
all right, so that is case or no case. Thanks for joining in, Ron, and smoking me on that one.
Put up some applause there.
Ron Arendt.
Good job,
Ron Arendt is a mediator. Those of you who don't know what Fred, loser. Don't you have a saying from one of the kids about me losing all the time? Well, I don't know what it is.
Well, I have one from Kevin Spacey.
You're all morons.
Yep. I agree. That's me, moron. Freaking makes me so mad. I get caught up.
Oh, well,
and I'm not competitive at all.
No. And I'm glad for that.
No points for you.
Yeah, no points for me. Ron, let's talk about mediation. So, as a lawyer, we all sit down and try to win cases. That's supposedly what we're supposed to do. But I remember a friend of mine said, always says that he talks to a lot of people about, the law and being a lawyer. And I'm sure, I'll bet you Ron's heard this a million times also. I hear it. In fact, I heard it, I think 2 weeks ago. Everyone's thinking, what did he hear? What did he hear? They always come up and say this, Fred, my son's going to be a great lawyer. Oh, why is that? He argues all the time. He's a great arguer. And I always say to myself, and Todd says this too, he says, well, actually, you probably won't be a good lawyer because you need to learn to resolve things too. Because lawyers, technically, I know that there's disagreements, but the job is to try to get them resolved. And there's many ways to get them resolved. The best way, generally speaking, is to mediate it and agree. And a lot of mediators, and we're going to come on a hard break here in Iran, and I know I'm talking a lot, but I want you to have plenty of time to discuss this. But what the most important thing about mediation is you've got it in your hands. Is that right, Ron? You make the decision. You, the plaintiff, or you, the defendant, get to make the decision. And a lot of mediators, and I'm sure you say the same thing, the best mediation and the best settlement or the best job that you've done as a mediator is when both parties walk out not quite completely happy. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And why is that? What do you mean not completely happy?
Well, each of them came in with an issue that if they could not resolve it on their own, then what we do is help facilitate a resolution by making suggestions on how to move towards a resolution. Right. It doesn't make everybody happy.
No, and a lot of times a mediation is something that is important to do. We're going to talk about why mediation, when we come back. We'll be right back after this break.
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com. The cost of getting rid of garbage is high, and recycling products is lucrative. If you're a business or know of a business that needs an individual compactor or baler, call Northwest Compacting at 888-201-0911. If you already have an industrial compactor, baler, or shredder and need service, don't forget to call Northwest Compacting at 888-201-0911. Northwest Compacting, your full-service industrial compacting and baling company. Read more about them at northwestcompacting.com.
Many women have so many clothes in the closet, but then we go to get dressed and find we have nothing to wear. We've all been there. We all want to be comfortable and fashionable at the same time, and it's difficult to find clothing that makes that task effortless. But at Letty & Company, you can find trendy, comfortable clothing that is affordable. Things you'll want to wear every day. Shop with a purpose, online with free shipping. Just go to LETTYandcompany.com. LettyandCompany.com.
I am Cameron Levitt, Chief Operating Officer of Concussion Medical Clinic. California's first concussion medical clinic is now open. As concussions increase each year, there has never been a greater need for concussion specialists. Our physicians at Concussion Medical Clinic are board certified in pediatric neurology and sports medicine and have partnered with universities, hospitals, and rehab clinics to expedite the recovery process. Simply put, we are elevating the standard of care. When you need an expert concussion opinion or concussion care, visit concussionmedicalclinic.com to schedule your appointment.
Jason Ross back here with Fred Penny, managing attorney from Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Now, Fred, what type of cases are you dealing with now, and what sets you apart?
Jason, we help people with all types of personal injury cases. We're former insurance company trial lawyers. We understand the other side, which gives us a distinct advantage over our competition. Remember, we don't get paid unless we win.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennylawyers.com or give them a call, 1-800-616-4LAW. That's PENNEY.
USA Radio News with Rick Vincent.
At a multinational security conference in Germany, Vice President Mike Pence said the United States has walked away from a security deal with Iran and others should follow.
The time has come for our European partners to withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal and join us as we bring the economic and diplomatic pressure necessary to give the Iranian people, the region, and the world the peace, security, and freedom they deserve.
Pence made his comments right after German Chancellor Angela Merkel defended the 2015 Iran deal. Auburn, Illinois Police Chief Kristen Zeman says they have a likely motive on why Gary Martin opened fire Friday at his workplace, killing 5 people and wounding 5 police officers.
We know that he was a 15-year veteran, and information that we have indicates that he was being terminated.
He was killed while exchanging gunfire with law enforcement. You're listening to USA Radio News.
There's no question you need omega-3s. But which form should you take? Fish oil or krill oil? Scientists have debated this for years. Luckily, there's a new solution to satisfy everyone. It's called Krill Omega 50 Plus. It combines ultra-pure fish oil and joint-soothing krill oil together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful, it can promote the health of your heart and your arteries. And if that wasn't enough, it can also boost your joint comfort in just days. We're so sure Krill Omega 50 Plus will work for you. We'll even send you a free bottle to put to the test. The debate is over. It's not fish oil or krill oil. It's both. And now it's free. Just pay $4.95 for shipping and claim your free bottle. Call now. 1-800-399-6392. 1-800-399-6392. That's 1-800-399-6392.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens, and we're proud to promote amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Visit gcnlife.com for products like Luminesse. The Luminesse anti-aging skincare line restores youthful vitality and radiance to your skin, reducing the appearances of fine lines and wrinkles with stem cell technology. There's also Instantly Ageless, which works within 2 minutes, reducing under-eye bags, fine lines, wrinkles, and pores. Jeunesse has products to help you with how you look and feel in a very short time. Nobel-nominated Dr. Vincent Jampapa has designed several products helping the body perform better. Jeunesse products have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they're available up to a 25% preferred price discount. See all of the amazing Jeunesse products at gcnlife.com or call toll-free 1-844-443-6637, 1-844-443-6637.
You're listening to RadioLawTalk.com. And now back to your host, Frederick Penny.
Back with our mediator, Ron Arendt. His name is spelled, sounds like Arendt, but it's Arendt is how you pronounce it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So mediation is an important part of the legal community because I don't know what the exact percentages are because they change so dramatically, but really, I'm going to just throw a general statement out there. I'm going to be off a little bit, but generally most cases settle, probably between about 90% of them settle out of court in some fashion. Either, it could be 95%, it depends on the law firm. Some litigate more than less and less, but quite a few of them. Isn't that true?
The vast majority do settle, as you've mentioned, yes.
Yeah. So tell us about the process. Okay, what's the process, Ron? Walk through a process of a mediation, and it can be in any area of law. It could be a divorce, it could be a personal injury, it could be a real estate, a corporate thing, right? It doesn't matter, right?
Yes, that's correct. So the very first thing is selecting a mediator that both parties can agree to. The mediator then makes sure that there are no conflicts with either the attorneys or the parties involved, and that they're comfortable in handling the subject matter of the mediation. The date is set. Briefs are exchanged as a general rule.
Define that. I'm going to interrupt you. What do you mean briefs? People don't know what that means.
A brief is a written document that says, here are the facts of the incident, here's the law that applies, here's what I'm looking for as a result. Sometimes they're confidential. I prefer not to have them confidential, or if they do, submit one without confidentiality and then one with it, because there may be some points that they wish not to have the other side know should it not resolve at mediation. The mediation occurs, and some mediators like to have joint sessions where everyone sits down and has the discussion. The Third District Court of Appeal mandates that you do that because I do mediations for them. Then the parties are in separate rooms, and everything done in that room is kept confidential. The primary purpose in my discussions with the folks to explain to them, you can tell me anything that you want, and I will keep it confidential and will not disclose it without your prior consent. And even if I have your consent, I'll determine whether or not it's going to be effective at getting the other party to look at your case from a different view.
Yeah, so Ron, this mediation, the whole thing's confidential. I can't go in and argue as a lawyer, well, in mediation, sir, didn't you say this? You can't do that, right?
No, you're prohibited from doing that. Sanctions can be imposed if you do. Most lawyers seem to understand that, but not all of them do, because when you get to a settlement conference, if the case should not settle.
Go ahead, keep going. Cal's raising his hand. We ignore him.
No.
Ron, we ignore him for a little while.
This is my way of saying when you're done, I want to ask a question. So
yes.
Please conclude your thought.
So just so you know, don't stop when you see Cal. We ignore him most of the time.
Yeah.
But then we'll catch on to him. But he was raising his hand. Finish.
And I'm used to being ignored. So.
Yes, he's being ignored all the time by Donna and us.
True story.
And some lawyers will go into a settlement conference because it didn't resolve at mediation, and then disclose what happened at mediation when they're not supposed to. So it's unfortunate, but.
Yeah.
You had a question.
Well, it's probably a foolish question, and if it is, forgive me, because I'm not an insider.
855 Law Radio if you have a question.
Yeah, we'll take your foolish or not foolish questions. We'll be glad to do that. It seems to me that what you're saying is you're acting like a judge. So why do we need mediators? What do we hire judges for? This is a dumb question. I mean, we have judges, we got settlement we do everything we can to keep a case out of court. We pay judges crazy amounts of money in California. I mean, good for them, but a lot of money. Why do we have them if we can solve almost everything that we do outside of a courtroom?
Oftentimes in getting a case ready for trial and going to a judge, there are tremendous expenses incurred for experts, depositions, the statements under oath with a court reporter. Those expenses are mitigated, if not even incurred, if you can get the case done through a mediator.
Well,
that's the prime goal.
I'm going to answer that question, too, for you, Ron. First of all, the judges do not have the time to mediate cases. They are so overworked right now. I mean, the question is, if every judge mediated cases that mediators mediate, the judges would have no time to work on cases or judge.
And mediation, is that something that the laws come up with? Or I mean, are there laws that said, okay, if not court, then go to mediation and then go to a settlement? I mean, is that something that we just do, or is it restricted and regulated under law?
There are some counties that mandate a mediation occur before you go to the court or go to a settlement conference. Others do not. It's mainly a voluntary process. The attorneys recognize there may be some issues. Either they have not communicated effectively with the other side, they're looking for someone to communicate effectively for them, or that their client doesn't seem to have the essential information that the attorney's been trying to pass on, so they're looking for a neutral to explain it. That's oftentimes. I thought you were asking why did they go to court rather than going to a judge, because settlement conferences are conducted either by judges or, as I do, a pro tem judge. I will go in to various courts, whether it's Placer County, it's Sacramento County, or doing what they call DRCs, dispute resolution conferences for El Dorado County.
And you basically say, why can't we work this out without going through the expense and bother of a trial?
And the attorneys have agreed to do so. That's correct.
And the important thing to know about mediation is, like Ron says, you are in charge now as the plaintiff. It's not you leave everything in the hands of 12 people you don't know that may or may not care about you. Don't forget, those of you who think, okay, I'm going to take this to trial and go to court and we're going to win this thing and the jury's going to be on my side. These are people who have families. These are people who have children at home and then have to take weeks off, sometimes multiple weeks off. And by the way, the pay is almost next to nothing to sit there and listen to your side. Don't forget, if you don't, they're not going to, you think everybody's going to feel sorry for you. Sometimes they don't, because they're worried about, okay, my kid needs to get to preschool and what's going on with my kid. So you're taking their time up. So that's why, Ron, it's good to have mediation, because you have an independent person. You're not on either side. You're looking at both sides. You've got how many years experience?
I'm 40 years as a lawyer and 15 to 20 as either a DRC judge or a pro tem judge and a mediator.
And that's exactly right. So here's one of the most experienced men out there that knows what he's doing. A lot of times, you've seen it. You know what's going to happen, right? I mean, you can't guarantee it, but you know generally what's going to happen.
I've got a sense, and then judging the people and how they would appear before a jury as well. makes a big difference. In fact, what you just mentioned is what I do with the plaintiffs in cases when I have them, is explain to them, today is the day that you make the decision. If you don't, you've got 12 people you don't know who'll make the decision for you. And usually, out of that 12, 1 or 2 are going to guide that whole discussion and resolution.
Right.
And believe me, nobody on jury duty wants to be on jury duty. You made the point, Fred, but nobody's happy about being there.
No, absolutely not. They're not. I mean, there's very rare do I have someone like, sit. You watch a jury. A lot of times the jury just is sitting there just like, oh, get me out of here. And it's not because you don't have a case. It's not even a little bit interesting. They've got their own lives. And I know as well as anybody else, by the way, myself as an attorney, did you know that I have to be called as a juror and I have to sit there and go through what's called voir dire and determine whether or not they're going to keep me on or kick me off? I have to do it just like anybody else. And believe me, even us as lawyers who believe and love the system say, I don't have time to sit here for 2-3 weeks. I've got my own cases to work on.
For $5 a day?
Yeah, for $5 a day, plus meals.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, that's what's important.
It's a little bit more than that, but yes.
Yes, but
it's a
close.
pittance.
But there's most counties, Ron, are now requiring, at least in California, are requiring this mediation process.
In one sense or another, that's what they would like to see, yes. Yeah. It's heavily encouraged.
And they do, now.
You mean for civil cases or for every case?
Well, most any case that before it goes to trial will go through at least a settlement conference, but the attorneys are always requested to consider alternate dispute resolution. And sometimes rather than mediation, they go through a binding arbitration, which is then the arbitrator or mediator becomes the judge, jury, and final decision maker.
And here's another thing that Ron hasn't brought up yet that I know he knows. It's not just that. That is a quick process. To get through the court system is arduous and takes time. You get pushed out, and the first ones that are the most important under the Constitution to get their cases in front are the criminal cases. So if you don't have a criminal case and you've got a civil case, you're going to be bumped constantly. Huh? Isn't that true, Ron?
That's very correct. And it's usually the older civil cases go out ahead of something unless it's an old person or a medically impaired person. But criminal cases go first for the right for speedy trial.
Right. You're sitting there and I've been waiting for a year and a half. This criminal trial just happened. It's in front of you. We don't have judges. They kick you out another 6-8 months. And then it's a circus, Cal, and then you're going in circles and circles. Why mediation's important. I'm a believer in mediation. When we come back, we're going to talk more about mediation. We're also going to talk about Manifort very briefly, and then we'll kick in some mediation also. We're gonna play back and forth if that's okay, Ron. Let's talk about some topics, then we'll kick back and forth to mediation. If you have any questions, call us at 855-LAW-RADIO or tweet us at Radio Law Talk. I'm Fred Penny, your host, the Lone Ranger.
This is Radio Law Talk on your favorite radio station and on radiolawtalk.com. There's much more coming right up.
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com.
Jason Ross.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com. Or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hello. I am looking for a special soul from the GCN audience to hire to come to East Ridge, Tennessee and take care of 2 peaceful, easygoing people, which are a sweet 95-year-old woman and her 60-year-old son. Terms would be free room and board, plus the use of all of our facilities here at home, in exchange for living with us and seeing to our needs. We must have someone that fits in well. We get along with most anybody and value those who like to do the same. We live in a suburb of the scenic city of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Please email Matt at peaceaboveall.net for additional information. Please include your informal resume stating your strengths and weaknesses and reasons you would make a dedicated caregiver. We would also offer to negotiate a nominal salary in addition to everything else. Again, please email matt@peaceaboveall.net. Thanks for responding.
Detoxify, lose weight, and restore balance to your body by simply drinking tea. Surprised? Dr. Miller's Holy Tea can help you feel better and even lose weight, because Holy Tea is a unique herbal tea blend of all natural ingredients specially formulated by Dr. Bill Miller. Call this number, 888-660-7039, or click drmillersclinic.com. Take the first step toward better health. Drink tea from Dr. Miller's Clinic.
Bacon lovers, we ship free. Try our amazing bacon. No refrigeration required. Proprietary value-added packaging provides 10-year shelf life and protects the leanest, thickest, center-cut, fully cooked bacon in America today. Ready to eat right from the pouch or warm and serve. Savory and delicious. Wholesale price for your everyday use. Order today at readytoeatbacon.com. readytoeatbacon.com.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNlife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I have treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNlife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid-rich, full-spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
You're listening to RadioLawTalk.com. And now back to your host, Frederick Penny.
I have Tonto next to me.
From the west, a thundering hoof. Yep. A hearty hi-ho silver.
Yes.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Lone Ranger, Mr. Fred Penny.
Yes! I know I can be without those schmucks. Did I say schmucks?
You didn't mean that.
I have Tonto next to me to the left. He's a mediator.
He's coming up with a different conclusion.
But mediators aren't crazy like the other two that I have sitting next to me all the time.
That's true. Well, he's more interested in keeping things calm.
Yes, that's why he's a mediator.
He's a mediator, exactly.
Keep you and I calm?
Not working.
Not working. You know what? Who is everybody tired of hearing about Manafort? This is interesting, though. You know, I hear it's been talked about. This is what people probably don't recall. So let's back up very briefly. Remember, there's 2 issues here with Manafort. There's 2 cases against him. If you go, those of you guys who listen to Radio Law Talk on a normal basis, we talked about the Manafort case before. Don't forget, there's the Virginia case. This is the Washington, D.C. case. What? The Virginia case, he was found guilty. And by the way, this had really nothing to do with the Russian probe and had nothing to do with the Trump thing, even though everyone wants to say that. It was a 2014, whether or not there was some tax fraud issue, some state tax issues, whether he paid his taxes. And he was found guilty on, and I don't remember all the charges, but basically some tax fraud and some bank fraud. Don't quote me, but I know it's something to do with tax issues.
None of which had anything to do with Russian collusion.
Nothing to do with it. Okay, so he does that. But then his second case that's coming down is in Washington, D.C., and that case is about failing to register as a foreign agent. Now, there may be a few other things, but that's the main thing. Not tax, by the way, it was tax evasion was with the issue of 2014 in Virginia. Failed to register as a foreign agent. Cal, how many times since the 1940s, I believe it was the 40s or the 30s, that this law was passed, has someone been prosecuted and found guilty of failing to register as a foreign agent? Cal. How many times?
My guess is 1.
0.
Well, except this one.
0, as in no, found guilty, because don't think this is D.C.
Oh, that's
they haven't done the case yet.
Right. Okay.
0, and in fact, they there's only 2 times they even brought it up since the 1940s. So this is an obscure, weird thing that, generally speaking, they slap them on the hand, and say, why didn't she file?
Register.
Yeah, just register. Come on.
Well, this is a classic case of TDS, of what some people are calling the Trump derangement syndrome, which is, let's find something. There's got to be something we can find. Anything, let's find it. And that's what's happening here, and it is what it is.
As you know, we're politically neutral here, and I'm not bringing up that, but that's one of the issues that has been brought up. And other people say, well, he's done wrong things. It sounds like he has. But it has nothing to do with Trump at this point. Right. Now, he's at D.C. now. So what happens is, this is interesting, Mueller says, you know what, I'm going to do a plea deal with you. You talk and you tell us everything or whatever, and we will give you a plea deal, which is going to be a really low sentence. I believe he can get up to 19 years is what he could get in the current D.C. case if he's found guilty on all counts. But they said, but we're going to put it before the judge, and they have to. The judge ultimately decides whether or not this is going to go ahead and he's going to agree with the plea deal. The judge has to agree with it.
Which raises my question. If a mediator comes up with a plea deal, and the two sides have agreed to it, do they still have to send it to a judge for the judge to sign off on it?
Okay, 2 things. Number one, in a criminal case, they don't necessarily mediate.
Well, a settlement conference, though. They do settlement conferences.
Yeah, usually and again, we don't have Todd, the expert here, but what it comes down to is it's in civil cases that you use mediators. But what happens is, let's say a civil case, if the mediator, no, you do not have to go to the judge unless, and there are exceptions. Number one, if it's a minor child, you have to go before the judge and get what's called a minor's compromise, and the judge has to agree to it. Sometimes if there's multiple parties involved and you're mediating and you settle one part of the case, sometimes it has to go before a judge to determine whether or not that's fair to settle that part out.
Well, I guess my question is, we know that defense lawyers and DAs get together and communicate all the time and try to settle a case. Yes. So if they settle a felony in a county,
the judge still has to agree.
Does the judge have to sign off on it?
The judge has to sign off.
That's my question.
That's my general understanding. There may be some exceptions, but I know this. The judge is Judge Jackson out of Washington, D.C., and Judge Jackson said, nope, you lied. I am not going to allow the plea deal. And so everything's back on the table now. So now, instead of getting a light sentence, which I don't remember that. They didn't say specifically what his sentence was going to be at that point, but she throws it out and said, you lied during your interview process. Now, let's look at some facts that people don't talk about.
Who determined that he lied?
The judge did but hear me out. So he's saying, yes, I made some mistakes, and yes, I did some things wrong when I talked, or during my interview process.
Sure.
Guess how many hours he was interviewed? 50 hours.
I think I'd make a few hours too, wouldn't you?
0, not 5.
Right.
50 hours.
Wow.
And he's saying, yes, I did. I was wrong on some stuff. But in 50 hours, do you think he's going to get something wrong? And again, I don't know all the details, so I can't opine on that. But I'm just saying, you got to look at the facts. 50 hours.
You couldn't read a book for 50 hours and not make a mistake.
Yes. And I'm not jumping on his side. I'm not saying he's doing anything right or wrong.
I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying, what are the odds in 50 hours of you being grilled by lawyers who then take the testimony, transcribe it, and pick it apart word by word? Right. What are the odds they can find something you messed up on?
And that's what Manafort's arguing is, I did not intentionally lie. I misspoke. And I made mistakes, but I didn't intentionally lie. And again, we don't know all the details of what it is, but she did go through and mention a few of the things that he, quote, intentionally lied according to what she sees, and so she's thrown it out. Now, here's what's interesting. This is what I want to say that's interesting. I thought, okay, what's interesting about that? Okay, guess what Mueller gets now? He gets the information. He already got it.
Yeah.
And now he's going forward with the case. So what Manafort does is, okay, I'll talk if you give me this deal. And I'm assuming, again, this is what I'm not saying is a fact. Well, I'm assuming he already talked to get the plea deal.
Well, obviously the judge wouldn't know he lied.
But now the plea deal's off,
right.
and they got their information.
And the judge and Mueller have a head to foist up on a petard.
Well, here's what I'm.
Right?
But you hear me out on that? Mm-hmm. That to me is an issue. 855 Law Radio or tweet us at Radio Law Talk. Why is that fair? I already, Your Honor, okay, but I spilled the beans, and for spilling the beans, I'm supposed to get a little bit of a leniency.
Maybe they didn't get enough beans, and this is their way of trying to get more beans from him.
That might be true. That's a good point. Ron. We don't know the details, but I believe he obviously laid some of the beans out because they said that he lied, and they quote him.
Did the prosecutor say, Your Honor, he didn't give us enough stuff?
No, I think the prosecutor.
I think the judge decided that he lied.
Yeah, Mueller wants the deal.
Yeah,
and the prosecutors are on basically Manafort's side. No, this is the deal we want.
In terms of let's adhere to the deal that we wrote. Right.
But the judge says, sorry, we're not going to do it, and this is what's going to happen.
Wow.
And here we go.
What does that say for the integrity of the process? And I'd like the mediator to answer the question. Yeah. To me, the process, therefore, has become either corrupted or polluted by the fact that you can't trust a deal that you make with the two sides involved.
Well, not trying to guess or second guess the judge.
Right. I'm just thinking in general terms.
You're right. There is a problem with the process. If someone independent of this who did not participate in it is now taking a window view rather than the entire landscape and renders a decision, you begin to question the effectiveness of that particular judicial officer.
Yeah, and it comes down to basically, well, do people now trust the system saying, I guess what you do now is, I'll talk. And this is the plea deal. As soon as the judge approves it, and maybe that's what happened. But, when the judge approves it, I'll spill more beans. He obviously spilled the beans.
I think you'd like to say, look, I have this information. Here's an outline of what I'll give you. Mm-hmm. You sign off on it. I'll fill in the blanks. I mean, that's what he has to do now. I mean, and you can't probably. I don't know.
This is the second time they've gone after him and tried to increase his penalties, too, if you remember that, because at one point in time they said he was interfering with witnesses and jailed him.
Right.
So it's interesting. In front of the same judge, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, don't forget the Virginia case that he's facing up to 10 years in prison. So we'll be back second hour, and we'll talk to Ron Arendt for a little while longer, and then we can let him go. We're going to have fun here. Be right back.
You have been listening to RadioLawTalk.com, a copyrighted presentation of Radio Law Talk Incorporated.